For decades, a gentle man on television helped kids navigate their biggest fears, making the world feel a little less scary. But when he passed away in 2003, his wife uncovered a stack of private letters he'd written each year on his birthday raw confessions to a higher power, wondering if his efforts truly made a difference, if he was enough. These weren't the only secrets he guarded. There was a manuscript from 1986, so honest and vulnerable that no one would publish it. What this kind man kept locked away might just change how you see kindness forever. He came into the world on March 20th, 1928, in a small Pennsylvania town. His dad had risen to success, building a grand home with all the modern luxuries imaginable. His mom hailed from old money in banking. Yet, amid the opulence, the boy grew up isolated. Their vast property spanned dozens of acres, but it echoed with emptiness. His father poured endless hours into the factory, leaving little time for home. Even with help around the house, the child yearned for real connection, valuing heartfelt talks over any fancy gift. At just 2 years old, during the depths of economic hardship, he battled both measles and scarlet fever. It was a nightmare. Many kids in his state didn't pull through such double illnesses. Confined to his bed for over a month, his temperature soared dangerously high, sparking wild visions in his mind. Through it all, his mother never left his side, guiding him through simple tunes on the piano's darker keys, since his weakened hands couldn't manage the rest. Each note became a way to express what words couldn't, turning that instrument into his closest companion. By 3, he struggled with basic tasks like lacing shoes or holding utensils. Experts diagnosed a coordination disorder, warning it might never improve one, even urged institutional care. But his parents sought out a specialist who used playful figures to make therapy fun, letting his fingers mimic their movements. In half a year, his skills leaped forward dramatically. He relied on easy fastening shoes into his but the magic of those imaginative sessions stuck with him, showing how joy could mend what hurt. That same year, a horrific accident unfolded nearby, a massive rail crash only steps from their door. From his window, he witnessed the chaos, learning later that dozens perished. His dad tried to soften the blow, saying they were merely resting, but the truth hit hard from bold newsprint. The question haunted him. Why do innocents suffer on simple journeys? It planted seeds for the gentle wisdom he'd share later in life. He retreated to the upper rooms, crafting stories with makeshift dolls from everyday items. He'd voice each one, weaving tales for an audience of plush toys. His mom caught him one afternoon, directing an invisible group like a teacher, and it touched her deeply. She surprised him with a custom stage, draped in soft fabric and glowing under spotlights. His beloved character dreamed big, exploring ideas of worry, compassion, and fitting in themes that would echo through his future creations. At 6, during his welcoming into faith, his grandmother gifted him simple story aids from scripture, crafted by hand. She embraced his tough queries without flinching. When he pondered why suffering touched the young, she replied that wondering was part of the divine plan. Their weekly chats built in him a comfort with uncertainty, teaching that caring questions mattered more than perfect answers. Approach he'd carry into helping others face life's mysteries. High school brought cruelty, tall and slender with a soft tone. he became a target, earning harsh nicknames. Once, bigger kids cornered him, slamming him into cold metal during a break with no consequences. He shared music at events, but jeers and flying distractions flew his way. A spilled drink ruined his notes one time, pushing him toward professional help. His mom considered switching schools, but he endured. Forging quiet strength amid the storm. At 15, allergies sidelined him for months. Trapped indoors, he poured energy into composing a intricate work for instruments, hundreds of lines long, astonishing his mentor. Performed for peers, it drew mockery as somber tunes, but he persisted that creation lives on in preserved collections. Tension simmered with his dad, a survivor of past epidemics who buried his own pains. Pushing for toughness and business succession, the boy craved artistic freedom, noting in private writings the days without emotional check-ins. On his 17th birthday, a mishap with his creative play shattered glass. Punishment followed, isolation, no music. Forced labor in harsh conditions that tore his skin. Recovery took weeks, and soon came a choice: abandon his passions or forge ahead alone. He chose independence. When a sibling arrived in 1937, at age 9, jealousy flared. He concealed items, went silent for weeks, expressing only through sketches. Some dark experts stepped in, and later he confessed the wish for undivided love. That regret fueled his drive to ensure no child felt overlooked. In 1945, he aided community watch efforts, scanning horizons for dangers. One tense night, signals suggested peril. He waited hours in the cold, heart racing. False alarm, but the dread lingered, birthing nightmares of destruction. It solidified his vow: no harm in what he'd built for the young. He pursued music studies in 1948, excelling with honors by 1951, diving into groups and even sports. Awards came, but a partner's public tease of his speech hitch crushed him. He conquered it through unique practice words underwater to master breath. That deliberate pace became his signature, born from effort, not ease. Post-graduation, he balanced media work with spiritual learning, earning a unique role in 1963, guiding youth via screens, not pulpits. A close ally made it possible. He saw broadcasts as outreach, safe havens for understanding. His early melody from 1950 captured unity, using sound to mirror inner turmoil. A natural ear let him echo any song. He crafted hundreds, collaborating with talented players. As a youth, he'd share holiday sounds for locals. Rhythm bridged gaps. Secretly, in training years, he gigged at hidden spots for pocket change, blending worlds his background might judge. That edge enriched his work. Under the serenity lay a bold creator. He met his future partner in 1948 during orientation. Their bond deepened slowly. In 1952, a penned proposal sparked Joyce dashed to respond affirmatively, misplacing the note in excitement. Wed at 24, their half-century union grounded him through every trial. His media entry in 1951, at 23, felt like a rival in a bustling city network. Behind cameras on variety programs, doubts crept in. Children's content troubled him adults in foolish antics, drawing laughs that rang hollow. It felt off, disrespectful. After mere weeks, he quit, declaring he'd witnessed too much misalignment with his values. 3 years on, in a local studio, he launched a modest youth program in 1954. Budgets scraped bottom, shared between him and a partner, planning seasons on scraps of paper. Chaos reigned, darting between roles in real time, opting for quiet footwear to glide unseen. Characters emerged impromptu, a striped feline from a spare cloth, voiced on the fly alongside a dozen others, improvising lines that somehow flowed. By 1955, he envisioned a moving element, a small crimson vehicle. Funds lacking, he assembled it from bits under $24. Tiny and delicate, pieced with precision tools. He maneuvered it live amid chaos. After one grueling session on generosity, fatigue felled him on set. Strain tested his marriage, started in 1952. In 1956, amid frustration over progress, he destroyed a creation in Angura, rare lapse. They mended quietly, channeling the remorse into lessons on temper for others. Undeterred. By 1957, he'd penned hundreds of tunes, including a welcoming anthem born from a lonely fan's note. Played on a salvaged instrument, he revived even post-surgery later. It called him first. He authored full-length tales for young ears, sustaining through sheer grit. Then floods ravaged the area in 1958, an installment addressed to the loss, drawing floods of responses, hundreds from grieving kids. He wept openly, sharing them, then replied to each personally. In 1963, he ventured north for a new venture, producing nearly 1,000 segments before returning in 1968 to refine his vision. Critics panned it as dull, sluggish. Viewership lagged. Harsh mail arrived, but he held firm, trusting kids needed space to process. Off-air, he crafted detailed sets from family heirlooms, including a concealed chamber for treasures, viewer gifts, all logged and acknowledged with gratitude. In 1969, he featured his own child, then 10, in candid chats with figures, embracing real moments. Family integrated seamlessly with care arrangements on site. Skeptics abounded. Funding cuts loomed in 1970. He testified briefly, revealing modest pay against industry giants, then shared a verse on fury. Silence fell. A key figure granted millions, securing the network. What hid beneath? In 1971, health concerns prompted Dawn Swims, strength-training impressive feats kept private to preserve his tender persona. A spirited puppet debuted, echoing his own youthful mischief. Petty thefts regretted. In 1969, boldly post a leader's tragic end. He shared a quiet act of unity with a diverse colleague, dipping feet together. Backlash surged, but he addressed each critic with poise. Tragedy struck in 1972. A friend's loss shook his faith. Months of questioning led to a poignant script on sorrow, aired despite push. During wartime unrest, he wove tales of division through fantasy, infuriating some as he distributed manually when blocked. In the 70s, routine anchored him, daily scales in ritual gear, hitting a meaningful number symbolizing affection held stead.